All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Supercars, the last review of 2023. How exciting. I can't believe we're already here after 12 long rounds, but my name's Daniel, as you can see here. And once again, I'm welcome with my co-host, Alex. Alex, how you going?
Yeah, not too bad. I haven't got a t-shirt yet, though. A bit mad about that.
That's all
But
right.
no, it'll get sorted soon.
We'll, we'll talk behind the scenes.
Figure that out. Yeah,
How do you what are your thoughts of the weekend?
it was good. We got everything we wanted. Kosteki Championship, Waters win. Everything went well, and well, we didn't really predict Matt Payne winning, but it happened.
That was unexpected, but oh my god, I'm so happy. That was so cool.
It was so good.
But before we get into the VAILO Adelaide 500, this obviously is a live stream. So if you do end up joining at some point today, welcome, and don't be afraid to ask a question. For all your Spotify listeners who are listening right now, you can check out YouTube for next year for maybe potential more as well. And I'm also recording this as well because I'll be uploading it to YouTube as a normal thing still, because YouTube is weird how they do their live stream stuff. It doesn't appear in their video feed. So I'm going to make it a video as well. So in case this cuts out or anything goes to absolute crap, we have a backup. So
We have a backup. Yeah.
But what a weekend. Not a lot of action, but a lot of stories to come off from this weekend. So before we get into the supercars, let's get into the young guns, the Super 2 category. Another series that was championship to the wire, which also prematurely ended on the Saturday. In a way.
Yeah, but not the way we kind of expected.
No, so Zach Best, but if you don't know, Zach Best came into the final round 30 points ahead of Kai Allen. Unfortunately, he was doing fairly well. He was ahead of Allen for majority of the first race, but then he accidentally bump and run Nash Morris into the wall, which ultimately gave him a 15-second penalty. And because there was a safety car, I'm pretty sure there was a safety car, he was dropped to 13th, which is not what he wanted, and basically it put Allen in a really good position. All he had to do pretty much on the Sunday was do well, and that's what he did. So, it's you sort of learn from these things. It is what it is. Like Kai Allen, he lost the championship here 12 months ago for Super 3. And that was neck to neck.
Wasn't that was very dramatic, wasn't it? That was like a last minute.
It was the Sunday,
kind of thing.
last couple laps or something. He binned it. I can't remember if it was turn 8, I think. But it was good redemption to be able to claim the Super 2 title 12 months later. So we've got a lot of bright young talents, that's for sure.
Definitely.
But in terms of action for Super 2, Sunday was well behaved. But Saturday, though, there was some action on Saturday with Nash Morris. He actually got off to a really good start, and before Zach Best punted him, he was doing pretty well. And also before Ryan Wood overtook him for the lead, which, by the way, he dominated from Ryan Wood. He was just... I can't wait to see what he does next year in Walkinshaw. Yes, it's not as good as the car he has now, because of course he ran the car that won the Saturday race for the 500.
Yes.
But I'm very excited to see. He's got Chaz alongside him, so he can learn and grow with him. I'm looking forward to it. But there was a couple moments where oh yeah, that's right, Aaron Love, he got spun at turn 6 by Zach Bates, who then also literally a turn later got spun by Hansen, and then Hansen ultimately got spun at turn 9 by Jordan Boys. So it was it was like
a snowball effect.
Pretty much, yeah.
Domino.
that was crazy. And then the other action we saw was Kelly. He lost control heading into 7 and unfortunately took himself out and also Zane Morse. Unfortunately, Zane had nowhere to go and it was rather disappointing. I'm still haven't recovered over the fact that he lost that Bathurst win.
Yeah, that was terrible.
So he'll be looking to
He
come.
ran out of fuel.
Yeah,
They
and
said.
then to be able to have like be involved in something that wasn't his fault, he was literally had nowhere to go. But that's racing, unfortunately. But he'll bounce back next
Never
year.
what you want.
He'll bounce back for sure. But let's run through the results of the Super 2 weekend. I'll only do the top 3 for each Super 2, Super 3. So for race 1 on the Saturday, we've got Ryan Wood on top with Cooper Murray. He did really well, actually. He stayed out of trouble, which is what you want around these streets. And Kai Allen earning the podium. But Zach Best was ahead of him at the time once they passed the checkered flag, but due to the safety car, he dropped down to 13th. And in Super 3 land, Cameron McLeod won the Saturday race with Gray finishing second. I don't know if you know him or not, but he's Tickford's new Super 3 driver.
Yeah, and he joined on the weekend, didn't he?
And also the first FGX on the field as well in the Super 3 category, which
Oh,
felt
the FGX looks so good.
it felt weird not seeing it all year.
Yeah.
But it does look great. I love it. I love the Tickford Autosport. It's a simple livery, but it looks really good. And to get a podium on these streets in his first ever race, yeah, really good. And another good result is Jet Johnson finishing third as well. So that was pretty cool.
I kind of hope the Super 3 grid next year expands a bit because,
I hope,
especially when they go for qualifying or something, there's like 6 cars in a row.
That's it. Yeah,
but if they get to at least 10, it should be a lot more entertaining.
I mean, them combining the two categories was the best decision ever. But
yeah, it is good.
But yeah, I agree. We need more Super 3 cars. Obviously, with the new rule changes this year, with the Car of the Future models being used, has minimized that field a lot. Because now we've got the V8 touring car.
Expensive.
Yeah, we've got the V8 touring car series, which also Jason Barguana's son won the title this year as well, which was pretty cool. But for race 2, Kai Allen, like I said, stayed out of trouble, brought it home. He was actually behind Zach Best. He actually finished 5th, but Wood finished first, Best second, and Bates third. And Allen just brought it home. All he had, beautiful drive, stayed out of trouble, happy days. And then Super 3, we had Cameron McLeod once again winning. Job Stewart, who also won the Super 3 championship this weekend. And Kelly rounding up the top 3. So overall, pretty decent weekend for Super 2.
3.
And 3. Super 2 and 3. And hello, Supercars Mabini. How you going? Thanks for joining. I'd love to have you on board. Before we get into Supercars, though, let's get into the top 3 of the championship for Super 2 or Super 3, because obviously the season's done for everything now, pretty much. So Kai Allen, as I said, won the championship, 6 points ahead of Zach Best. God, Zach would probably hate that. After the year he's had.
I think he's said he's finished second 3 years in a row.
Yeah. So
it's a bit rough for poor old Zach.
That's the thing.
But Kai Allen was the youngest ever Super 2 championship winner as well.
18 years old. How bloody good. He's part of the Norwell club as well. As we saw,
good ones out of there.
We've seen Brody Kostecki, Brock Feeney, Anton. Yeah, he's in good hands, and obviously it shows. So I'm looking forward to what he does this year, next year. Sorry, but it looks like from the sounds of it, he will be continuing in Super 2 next year with the number 1.
That'll be cool. Yeah,
Uh,
just saw that comment. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
It
Kai, he is a freak in a good way. In a good way. But yeah,
Kai is very good, but yeah, that was Zach's to lose,
it
unfortunately.
was, and
It was the McLaughlin from 2017.
that's it. And especially, it's very similar to Supercars too. It was actually kind of freaky how um, the championship leader got caught in a pickle. Or not the championship leader in Supercars, but
Uh,
like the
Contender.
championship contender got into a
Hmm.
pickle at the beginning, which we'll get into shortly. But Ryan Wood finished rounded up the top three for that, which was really cool and pretty good way to finish off his Super Two campaign. Um, and Super 3, Job Stewart, as I said, won the title, who's also another Erebus young gun. He's part of the academy. Hopefully, we see him in Super 2 soon. I can definitely see him in a supercar seat in a couple years' time. See how we go.
McLeod was kind of a little bit better in a way.
He was
He
this
had a
season,
few
yeah.
he had a few issues that stopped him. Sandown was the biggest one.
When he ran out of fuel as
Yep.
well.
So I still think that McLeod is a little bit better, but yeah, you got to be consistent to win a championship, and that's exactly what yeah,
That's it. And
he didn't do.
I hope we see a battle with them two again. Like a proper one, hopefully in Super 2. But I don't
Yeah.
know much about what their plans are for next year. Hopefully, we'll find out soon. Speaking of McLeod, he finished third behind Jet Johnson, who finished second, which was really cool for his first
Did
year.
he really?
Yeah, so he did really well. He
Yeah.
he was the quiet achiever in a way.
Yeah. Right.
I was not expecting to see nothing against you, Jet, but like I wasn't expecting you to finish second, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But let's get on with the big main show, the VAILO Adelaide 500, round 12 of the Supercar Championship. And it was extremely anticlimactic.
Well,
In terms of,
yeah.
oh,
Well, hang on. After lap 2 of the first race, yes, it was anticlimactic. But
oh,
before that, it was fine.
the build up was great. But as
Yeah,
soon,
the build-up was
as
great.
soon as the racing started, it was like, well, Brody's won. That's off we go. We're done.
I
But
think the issue is what kind of we've been saying all year, how the cars are, yes, they're harder to drive, but the racing has been a bit blurred because of the tires,
mm,
and everyone's just kind of tire saving, like Shane said in that podcast. So
mm,
I think that's the reason why a track like Adelaide 500 is so, well, what's normally a hectic, chaotic, carnage racetrack
mm.
wasn't.
No.
And same as Bathurst. So we had one safety car at 161 laps at Bathurst, and one this weekend as well. There wasn't one on the second race, was there?
No, it was just,
No. See what I mean? So
yeah.
like all these tracks that usually produce carnage aren't,
Yeah.
because all the drivers are playing so safe with their tires.
Yeah. And that's
So next year, if they have the two tires,
yeah. Hopefully that
fingers crossed, be
does
more
something. Yeah.
hectic.
But before we get into that, just another comment here. I love how Mason Kelly drives his dad's old car and wears his old suit. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, probably swears less than his dad did though.
Throwback to
Queensland Raceway.
why me? Honestly, though, that would be me. If,
Oh yeah,
yeah, that has been me on the sim. No one's seen it, so that doesn't count. But
yeah.
that
Yeah,
is
me
cool.
too.
It's also a cheeky way of saving money as well, so I like his style. But
Yeah.
yeah, back to supercars. Yeah, like you said, the thing is as well with racing, if it wasn't for Shane crashing out on lap one, Brody probably would have raced harder than he did.
Well, that's the ironic thing. We'll never know how close the battle would be because the Red Bull cars were good in the race and the Arabic cars weren't.
Yeah,
So it would have been very, very tight.
and you saw how hard Reynolds and Kostecki went
Waters.
straight away into turn one. Like, they were literally
Mm-hmm.
touching before heading there. Like, we missed out on a Gold Coast V2 essentially. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. But oh man, what a weekend for Shane.
Told you he wouldn't. I said he wouldn't really do well,
He
did I?
didn't score a single point this weekend.
Oh yeah.
He didn't even finish Sunday. So that's
Didn't he finish?
no. He went in, went out, and then went back in, stayed in there. But we'll get into him soon. But in terms of action, it started off this weekend. I'm sorry if this is all over the shop. Bear with us. But Thursday started off extremely wet, and Friday was also wet, and we're quite kind of concerned about how, or intrigued about how the wet will affect the race, and it didn't. It cleared up. That was also anticlimactic, which was actually handy for me because I went on Sunday, but I became a tomato in the process
Would
of
have
it.
been better. Would have been better for race today.
Oh my god! Yeah, if you don't know, it was thunderstorms and lightning in Adelaide
For like 24
since
hours.
last night, and I had the pleasure of working in it, so that was cool. SVG hasn't won at Adelaide since 2018. I can't see that, but I kept
that's true.
expecting great. Yeah, that's the thing. He hasn't had
That's
a
what we
good
said.
run. He hasn't had a good
We
run.
said that. We said that, didn't we? We said, "Oh,
Yeah.
it hasn't been very good, but championship."
Yeah, but
And no,
he's. I still remember 2017 where I think he did he won both races. I can't remember, but that was his first year after being crowned champion. But yeah, no, he hasn't had a good campaign since. That's for sure. Which is unfortunate, but oh well, this is what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in America, though. That's for sure. But speaking of America, actually, before we get into it, Kostecki's going to Texas Speedway. This weekend, I think.
he's got a link with I can't remember his name, but one of the team owners in NASCAR. Hence why he did that wild card at what track was that? Charlotte?
Indianapolis.
Indy, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and he's going to be doing more next year as well. So,
not gonna lie, he could end up the year after.
If all goes well, I mean, he's definitely proved it.
He's beaten the guy who won at Chicago by himself.
Exactly, and
as a rookie.
Yeah, which isn't an easy feat. But I just wish we saw a battle between them. I mean, we have seen them all year, but like a neck and neck sort of.
Yeah, to finish it off.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But
we needed a Perth style race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
that would have made it much nicer. But at least
the surprise was Grove Racing, and not only David Reynolds, but Matt bloody Payne to be able to.
We said it in the Gold Coast, didn't we? We said, "Come on, you got one more weekend to do it."
But he didn't just win; he dominated on Sunday. No one went past him. He was fastest in qualifying, fastest in the shootout. No, he wasn't. Kostecki was.
No, he wasn't. Second.
Kostecki was, but he led from turn 1 and onwards, and that's it.
Well, the thing is, he had the exact same pace on Saturday too. He got caught up and had some issues with the car.
Yeah,
and that's why he finished last. But he still definitely had the pace, and we were worried. Like, he hasn't been around this track much. We shouldn't have been worried at all. We said he could be the next McLaughlin, and he showed up. Just like last year, Brock Feeney won his first race, the last race. So hopefully next year can lead the team now that Reynolds is gone. I think he can. I think he's better than Stanaway, and especially having the experience driving the Mustang all year, whereas Stanaway hasn't.
He's a lot taller.
I think those two Kiwis. It's really cool that they're a Kiwi because the Groves are Kiwis. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And they've got the link with El Bamba, who's also a Kiwi. And now they've got 2 Kiwi drivers. It's pretty cool. Not that I'm a Kiwi, but it is a cool story.
Kiwis are bloody quick, that's for sure. They've proven us many, many times. But no, I'm excited.
Yeah, I know a quick one.
Yeah. I think he's going in NASCAR next year. I don't know. Not many people know him. Don't really know what he's achieved, but
that wasn't what I was thinking of, but that's fine.
Oh, who were you thinking of? Oh, McLaughlin.
Yeah.
The other one that's racing in America.
The better one.
Right.
The better one.
The one with the the one with the jandal.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, God, I can't believe I forgot about him.
How could you forget?
Sorry, Scott.
Sorry, Scott. I didn't forget. God. I never forget.
Yeah, I know. Oh, jeez. Anyway, moving on. It basically it gives me confidence. We've got a bright future ahead of us in supercars with the rookies. Because Feeney,
yeah, and even with SVG leaving, I think we're in pretty good hands. Will Brown and Kostecki next year will be rivals, not teammates.
Yeah,
there won't be such nice games happening.
They can race
Feeney's there
hard.
as well. Yeah, and now we've got Matt Payne onto the scene,
Hmm.
and probably even Cam Waters if
They have a good car.
the Mustang. Yeah, if the Mustang's good for the whole year. The next year be good. Last round title fight was 2019 technically. SGOs and 300 meters in race one Newcastle. I don't remember that. I have bad memories from Newcastle, so I'm gonna forget that.
Yeah, I
And
think.
championship. I'm gonna forget championship fights at Newcastle.
Yeah, I got to have a look at. I just remember the 2017 one.
Yeah, me too.
You remember that well.
I remember that really well.
Yeah, I remember Wingcup doing a somersault into the ocean or whatever it was.
Yeah,
But
I turned it off way before that.
oh, did you turn it off on the last lap? The moment
Yeah,
yeah, I thought so.
as soon as
But
he crossed the line.
yeah, I think 24 will be exciting as well. I wish there was more than 12 rounds, but
Yeah,
but
at least the Ben's not there.
yeah, well, we'll see how it goes next year. But hey, the only reason I'm disappointed that is a good track. It's just not a good track with the current situation with supercars.
Yeah,
But it is a
it's
great
a
track
track
overall.
for more. I think it's a track for cars with high downforce.
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas the low downforce tracks, it's not as cool. And I just think supercars suit and are more entertaining on a street, narrow track,
I love street.
not
I love
a
street circuits.
massively wide, unnecessarily wide track
Hmm.
with so much wind. Oh my god, that's another issue with Telemann.
I love
But
I love street
we'll
circuits.
gloss over that.
Yes.
Street circuits what make supercars, man. You get your best rounds at the Gold Coast, Adelaide. Melbourne doesn't count because it's terrible. But yeah,
There's a
the
couple good
last two
F1
rounds of
rounds.
the year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last two rounds of the year now are perfect. I reckon leave that.
Mm.
We just need to add more tracks. Like winter needs to be back. Come on, that has to be back. That always produces the best turn one carnage. And then look, Queensland Raceway, I could probably let that slide.
It's a street circuit without the walls, Wington. I like to think
Yeah.
the way the layout is, which is probably why it does so well. But
yeah.
the Ben does provide different.
It does.
Sorry, you go before I get.
It doesn't. Yeah, no, I can agree and also slightly disagree. Just because this year was really boring, but as we saw the year before, Zach Best got a bloody pole as a wild card. So it does. I think also because it is very long, it can produce different things like Bathurst. That it's got it going for it, I think. But yeah, just the vibe of it is kind of yeah.
I loved 2020 with Andre Heimgartner. Like when they made the West Circuit layout, the smaller one.
Yeah.
Which is my personal go-to for the bend because I've driven it 3 times now actually. And I just love that hairpin when you go right instead of left. And that I just remember that race with Heimgartner in his first win. That was really cool. I just don't like when they go wide purely because I don't like driving it. But
I've been on that track. I was too focused on not throwing up in a Porsche.
Yeah, that's a good
to really pay attention.
Yeah, good strategy, but
yeah. One more lap, man.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. But yeah. So let's get into why we're here. The 500. Let's go. We'll do something what we did last Gold Coast round, where we'll go through the team's standings and we'll work from there. And this is also the team standings, like championship wise as well. So the winners of the 2023 season was Erebus, or Coca-Cola Racing, powered by Erebus. They managed to come home with 5,152 points ahead of Red Bull. And I've said it many times. I've even said it in a group chat or group post on Facebook that how ironic that 10 years ago they started their supercar campaign on the same track that they won their drivers and teams championship.
Yeah, it's a cool story. And Betty was in tears at the end of it. She was really emotional. She's been there since the start, hasn't been the owner.
It's a wholesome moment.
It is. It's really cool, and as a fan of supercars, it's nice to just see someone different, bringing it up the front
Mm.
and competing with the best team that's probably ever existed in Triple Eight. So
And
it was refreshing.
a privateer team to also win the title is a pretty good thing. Pretty cool.
Yeah, not a
You kind of forget that they are a
what do they call
privateer
them?
after
Yeah,
after how well they've done. But
yeah.
yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Mabini. It's them being successful is fantastic for the sport. I love it. And Brody, yeah, he's a great champion. And
And it was also the first Aussie to win the championship since
oh my god, yeah,
2017. I
yeah,
didn't know that. I didn't think about that until then. I was like, oh my god, you're so right. Since Wing Cup won the disastrous
yeah,
championship, since then, no Aussies ever won.
yeah. It's pretty surreal.
Oh,
That's what I mean. The Kiwis are bloody quick, man. They're insane how quick they are.
yeah,
So I'm
100%.
I actually forgot about that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, because
Um,
Crombo said it, or Scafie said it at the end of the race. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, we haven't won for ages.
uh, yeah, damn
Yeah,
Kiwis.
no one realized
Yeah.
until now.
I'm surprised they didn't. They were like hyping it up that he was going to be the first Aussie to win. But that's funny.
For 7 years.
That means, right, that the last Aussie winner besides from Kostecki had it was before the Mustang era.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's
that's
sad.
5-6 years ago.
16, yeah, 2017 was Win Cup.
Ugh. Ugh. Anyway, but no, that's really
And
cool.
actually, well, and then SVG won the year before.
Mm.
So it's been 2 out of 8 seasons Aussies won.
Yeah, at least we've had a
Yeah.
couple Aussie Bathurst wins. That's good, at least. But
Yeah, not the last couple of years.
no, not this year. But we had Mozzie one in 21. And that's it. Moving on. This is interesting. Barry Ryan, right? He wanted to retire Brody's chassis, the championship winning chassis. But there's a chance that he might actually have to use it next year because of Brown's car.
Oh,
Because he doesn't want to start the season with a crappy car. He wants the cars to be perfect and pristine, and he doesn't think Brown's car will, based off the damage, probably won't be good to start the year for LeBrock. Because he's going to Erebus next year. So
are they not building a new car?
they might have, or instead they might have to, I think they've got 3
I thought
cars.
every team just did that anyway.
Yeah, but I think in terms of, I don't know. I don't really know the whole. I'm not there, but
I thought every team built a car every year.
I don't know. I gotta look into that. But that's what I read. That's what I read.
I don't.
Don't shoot the messenger. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm assuming, yeah, they don't have to, but I just assumed they did.
well, Mabini here said apparently it's up to the team if the crew want to as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
yeah.
But yeah, I just assumed they all did, to be honest.
Probably to save costs.
I guess if your budget is a bit low, like maybe Blanchard's or someone,
it's not a cheap expense. That's for sure.
surely BJR's budget is low. I don't know how Brad has.
I wonder why.
But you know what I mean? Like the smaller teams, even that's done. Like,
yeah,
those teams I would expect still to do it, but struggle to do it.
Yeah, and Mabini actually pointed out Barry actually said so as well. Like not every team can afford it.
It may.
Fair enough. It's sports is extremely expensive as it is. It's like $1 million, million just to own the car. So yeah, but who knows? See what happens next year. But
Is there a prize for winning the championship?
I'd say they would be
like in F1, not obviously as big.
Oh, in F1 or
no, like in F1, how every team gets prize money every year.
I would say it's prize money, but in terms of other stuff, I don't really know. I need to actually look into that. I don't actually know where.
Yeah, because you'd think a team that just won the championship can afford to build 2 new cars. Just saying.
Yeah, but who knows in supercar land? But let's move on to P2, which I am a fan of Red Bull, but I'm happy to say that they were beaten this year in the favour of Erebus. But They came home with 4,976 points, which is actually a 176 point gap between Erebus. And what a weekend they had. Feeney did fairly well. He didn't have a great. Oh no, he did. He did all right for the
Saturday
Saturday.
wasn't brilliant. Yeah.
No, but he did really well on the Sunday. He finished ahead of both Kostecki and Brown. But Gisbergen, no points, as we said. He had like a loose wheel at first on the Sunday. And then I'm not too sure what happened after that, where something was
When was
going
the
on.
last time? When was the last time Gizzy didn't have any points in a weekend? It'd probably be years
Hmm.
since the beginning. I'd imagine.
But oh, Bailey, how you
But
going?
that's off a two race round.
Hmm.
So when was the last time he didn't finish two races?
I don't know, but it's been a while. He's been quite consistent. I think maybe in the McLaughlin days. I reckon.
Yeah, it'd be years ago. It'd be
Hmm.
years ago. Nothing in the championship winning years.
Oh, I agree. Feeney's really stepping up. It might not be too bad losing SVG. Yeah, I agree. Feeney,
Yeah, they got Will Brown. I think they'll be fine.
yeah, you got two fast young guys. But Feeney though, he's really proven himself since last year.
Yeah.
And he's great for the, as we said before, the supercars are in safe hands with in terms of drivers. I'm very excited for it. But oh, you think it was Techno Days that SVG's last double DNF? Honestly, I
Probably.
can't. That was a long time ago, but that does sound realistic.
That in itself was 7 years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember that far right now.
Milking it.
But yeah, no, it's definitely been a while. This first time this year, that's for sure. But yeah, no, unfortunate result for Red Bull. But I'm very intrigued to see how Will goes next year.
Yeah.
Against his old team, but
I think that's where the most intriguing part is. Him going to the team that just won. That just lost to the team he was on.
yeah,
It was a little bit awkward, thinking, I'm going to go to Red Bull and they're the best team.
Mhm.
Not at the moment, they're not.
No,
You were on the best team.
but they did have a better race car, though. That's the
Oh,
truth. They
yeah,
just
that is the truth. I don't know what happened with them, man. Like starting pole both weekends and finishing 7th and 8th, was it?
yeah.
It was pretty abysmal as from a
Well,
race point of view.
Gisbergen actually qualified 15th or something on the Sunday. He was
Yeah,
not
that's
having,
true.
and he was actually having steering issue. Actually, before we get into BJR, who finished third, by the way, I forgot about this. They did an engine change on Feeney's car on the Friday,
Is
and
that?
they did a steering rack change for Gisbergen as well. Like they weren't happy at all heading into the
Yeah,
race.
he had steering issues a few times this year.
Oh, so many times the fact
Not
that
as bad as Scott Pies though.
no, but the thing is, he mid-year he actually swapped to the wildcard chassis,
Yeah,
and he's still
it was
having
that
steering
bad.
issues. Like he can't win. But
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, let's get on to P3, which I'm very happy to say. Brad Jones Racing. They'll be very pleased about that, given how well and how not so well they've done this year. But they come home in 3,708 points. Now here, similar to Gold Coast, I've listed all four drivers, even though the teams in the team standings, the two cars are split. But we've got Andre Heimgartner finished 9th and 6th, and Bryce Forward 19th and 18th. Macaulay Jones 17th and 22nd. Jack Smith 20th and 19th. Andre Heimgartner carried the team this weekend, like he has been.
yeah. It was a weird kind of year for them because it didn't really seem like they were that successful. But
No.
I guess the Mustangs were that bad at the start of the year that
Well,
they, you know,
Heimgartner
they
started
always
well.
have a. Yeah, actually, now you mention it, sorry. They always have a good year, they say, with the new gen car,
Mm.
which is true. But then toward the back end of the year, they kind of died off.
And the only time I really saw them was when Macaulay Jones was facing the other way in the pit lane. I don't know if you saw that, but
I did.
I was going to jokingly say that was Jack Smith, given how the commentary team always call
I
Jack
sent you that
Smith.
video, didn't I?
Yeah, exactly. It's so easy
I
though. They
didn't
got the
know.
same color palette.
Yeah, but just look at the number. It's right there.
Exactly. One's 2 digits, one's a single digit.
I literally sent you a video. I didn't believe you when you said that they don't pay attention, and we joke that no one cares. But then
Yeah.
there's actually a video, and I filmed it of
Yeah.
Neil Crompton saying, "Oh, his Jack Smith cut in the chicane," and it said number 96 on it.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes Bryce he goes through stages where he does well and doesn't. This weekend
Yeah, it's a
obviously
bit
was a case of
inconsistent.
not. But yeah, and oh, by the way, enjoy dinner. I'll see you when you get back. But yeah, no, it's consistency is not. It's,
JJR's strength,
yeah, but
unless it's
um,
Jack Smith consistently at the back.
yeah, well, that's one way to put it. Technically, they are consistent, but what they are consistent at is fast pit stops, which
That's
is
very true.
and also a good thing because they won the what do you call it, pit stop cup thing at Bath. Oh my god, my brain. the big
The
trophy at the end of it.
per take pit stop challenge.
Challenge.
Thing.
There you go. Bloody
Yes,
hell.
I got you back.
But they've won it many years now. But and like we said off chat, we spoke about in the preview about Jack Smith's seat for next year, which is still yet to be announced. But there is another name on the cards now, Declan Fraser. He didn't come to mind at first, but I could see him doing well in that seat. He deserves a second chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, like he won the Super 2 championship. He deserves to be on the grid. He hasn't really gelled with that Mustang. Maybe he might gel with the Camaro. Who knows? But it kind of makes sense because let's be honest, besides probably Zach Best, this and yeah, Kai Allen just won a championship, Super 2. There's no real standout that'd be like, yes, he's next.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a few deserving drivers, but like it wasn't like when Feeney won the Super 2 championship, someone was going to pick him up.
Yeah.
Just happened to be Wing Cup retiring. But every year there's usually a standout driver that next year goes into Supercars. This year there really hasn't. Kai's probably just 1 year too young, and I hope he backs it up next year in Super 2, then comes in.
Mm.
Although he still did show good pace in the wild card at Bathurst. But yeah, I think just 1 more year just based on his age, like Feeney. And then, yeah, that's the weird thing. So I'm not hugely surprised that Declan Fraser is linked, well, not linked, mentioned in this seat. And honestly, I wouldn't be mad if he goes there. I still do personally think that Todd Hazelwood deserves it more than anyone. Yeah. And he's been there before, but it seems like he's excited to do whatever he's doing next. So hats off to him, and hopefully that news comes out soon.
There's too many good drivers and not enough seats. Like Zach Best,
Shane said about Scott Pye as well. Scott Pye is getting kicked out, and Shane said he does not deserve to be kicked out.
Well, he did very well Gold Coast before he got punted. And then Todd Hazelwood, like you said, he did actually really well this weekend, which we will get into.
He always does good in Adelaide, though. Yeah. He's very good at
Adelaide. It's that home feel to it, I reckon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even in Matt Stone days, he's just as a rookie was in the top 10 shootout.
Yeah, 2019.
In the Chrome.
Yeah,
the Chrome Commodore.
Yeah. But so many but personally, the more I think of it, I actually really want Fraser in that seat. Because I want to. Yeah. We've seen what Todd can do. He's got a pole position podium. I want to see what Fraser can do with a decent car. And yes, Jack Smith's car is probably better than the car he has now, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's probably more consistent. The Mustang for Tickford didn't really. Obviously, it did well at the end. No. But even still, I think that he'll be better, and the Camaro might suit him a little better. And he obviously won the championship. Was it in the AAA car, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you don't just win it because you have no talent. You win it because you know how to drive and you can drive well. So we've seen what he can do.
He deserved the seat at Tickford. It just sucked that he didn't really gel with the car.
Work out. Like similar to Jake Kostecki, didn't work out.
Yeah.
But I am happy that they are dropping down to 2 cars though. That's a really good decision.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can put more focus into Waters and Randall because they are a really good pairing and they had a really good weekend as well, which we'll get into.
So it shows that they're the two that are going to lead the team forward. And I think that's really, really good.
And you know what?
Although what should be led forward for Tickford, sorry, is that livery. Keep that livery.
Oh yeah,
Holy crap, that looked good.
that
Oh
was
my god.
amazing. Oh, and
It looks so good.
let's get into Tickford now, actually, because they're actually P4 behind
See,
BJR
I
with
knew.
good transition. With 3,667 points. Again, mixing the two teams together in a way. We've got Cameron Waters, who won Saturday with that Ken Block livery, which was sick, which we'll get into in just a minute. Hang on, Alex. Hold that thought. And then a P4 on Sunday. Thomas Randall came home with a podium in third and P10 in the next race. On Sunday, James Courtney finished 8th and 12th, and Declan Fraser 15th and a DNF, unfortunately. But how good was that car? Car 43.
Beautiful. And it was fun.
It
That
was.
day, really good. Wasn't as great on Sunday, but holy crap, he had pace on
Like
Saturday.
you called it though. With him. Well, we both did in a way.
Yeah, we both said it. I think just based off the pace he had in Gold Coast, just kind of led to that decision.
It's very Gold Coast. It's a Gold Coast V2 in terms of performance. Like we knew in a way how people would do this week, how well guys will go this weekend, given the
I guess
result.
the only thing that didn't really carry over was the race pace from Erebus. Besides that, everything was pretty much the same.
Mm.
The usual guys at the front. Identical Saturday winners. So, and almost identical Sunday winners, just the other side of the garage.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, and they also Randall. I've got to give shout out to Randall.
Yeah, man.
South Australia has been kind to him.
Yeah, he loved the bend.
Yeah.
Considering the year before he stalled.
Mm.
Year before or 2 years before? No, year before.
Year before, 22. Yeah, no, last year was.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a huge bounce back, and then to keep it up, I think he'll definitely be the perfect link or the perfect pair with Cam Waters. So
I'm excited for that.
Tickford, I think that could be a dark horse next year. Now they've only got 2 cars to worry about, less demand on the crew and stuff. So I think they'll be a dark horse next year.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited. If that wind tunnel testing goes well, because I feel like I was talking to my my mate Lockie, last night, and we are talking about how they were making. I feel like in terms of parity, they actually did make it's hard to tell with Gold Coast and Adelaide being street circuits, like more driving ability, but I feel like we've moved in a small step forward. But now we've got the wind tunnel testing next month. I'm very excited to see what what we can learn from that and make from that, and see how next year goes. But
what was ironic about the parity thing is after the parity thing was finished, the Fords became better and they won every race after that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can call that parity because it just had a reverse role.
Yeah.
So hopefully the wind tunnel will even out everything and everyone will be happy next year.
Us Supercar fans are never happy. We'll always find something. We'll find something. We'll find something.
Yeah, next year, 12 rounds. That's the thing we're pissed off about.
Yeah, exactly.
The car's even, but we'll still be angry about that.
Exactly. Come on, count more than 12. 13 is after 12, all right? Jeez. It's like Valve with they can't count past 2. But let's get on with DJR. Shell V-Power Racing came home in 5th with 3,604 points. Another weekend for them. In terms of where they used to be, not so good, but they came home with solid points. Yeah.
Anton came home a crab, but he still came home.
Yeah.
I was so sad. That would have been a dog to drive, especially for that long.
For sure. And
credit to him finishing, to be honest, because that wouldn't have been fun. God no. That would have been a long afternoon.
But yeah, because of that, he finished 21st, and on Sunday 7th. And Will Davison, he usually goes well around here anyway. He finished 7th and 9th. But based off their Gold Coast performance, they did well. They did well, yeah.
Better.
But and speaking of them, we mentioned it in the preview about DJR taking over the engine development next year. I just hope that they have a good team next year in terms of racing.
Are they taking over or making their own, which is separate from the other Fords? Because that's what I kind of gathered.
I
Or did
think
I
they're
get that wrong?
taking over because with Gen 3, there can only be one engine supplier per manufacturer.
Okay,
So if based off that
makes sense.
logic, I think they've bought out that company and have taken over.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, hopefully they have a better next year. But there was a cool battle between Davison though. He got into some nice battles, especially with Thomas Randall and
Yeah,
Gisbergen on
the mid
Sunday.
the mid pack was pretty close all weekend. I thought that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. Which was cool, given how not much happened after that.
No, not much. Yeah, one safety car for the whole weekend. When does that ever happen in Adelaide?
Well, 2017, I think. 20. What was it? 2019, I think. Or no, 20
That was a double.
or
That was a
2020.
double chain, then, wasn't it?
One of the two one of the years they had one safety car out on Saturday and then none on Sunday. As well. But then 2017 had none at all. Unless that's the year I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but safety car brings action. Like Bailey, he went with my cousin. He just wanted to crash. He wanted to watch a crash, and we actually saw that with. We'll get into that with
Cam Hill.
Cam Hill at turn 8. So
Did you actually see that crash, or did you just
we were
see the end of it?
no, we were actually at turn 8. The funny thing is, Bailey was like, "I just want to see a crash," and I was like, "Mate, it's qualifying. We're not going to see one." Literally a minute later, Cam Hill proved me wrong, which was I can't believe there weren't any crashes. I wanted it. Yeah. Well, you at least got one, mate. All right, calm down.
Seeing crashes is cool yet a bit scary. I told you off air that in 2021, I think it was,
Yeah, Macaulay Jones.
when Macaulay Jones at 10-9, I was just reading my McLaughlin book. I hear a screech. I look up. I just see a flash, and then I see a car doing a friggin' 360. That was cool. But yeah, scared the crap out of me.
But yeah, no, unfortunately, we didn't see any in the race though, which usually creates drama because he actually pointed something out while we were at the track about you don't really see these big crashes and stuff anymore, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of it produces
Entertainment,
chaos, and action. Like we saw with the 2014 with Jason Bright going over and over and into the wall.
Yeah, stuff like that isn't happening as much these days. I just think
No.
because there is so much based on expenses and
Oh yes.
I don't know. I feel like it's always in the back of everyone's mind now. Oh, if I crash,
It's
it's going to cost a lot.
which shouldn't be the case.
I think because the Gen 3 cars are a lot more expensive, if I'm not mistaken.
They are. And especially at the beginning of the year, like when they were low on resources, like we saw with James Courtney crashing out in Newcastle. He was the first ever guy to crash a Gen 3 car. And he actually didn't have resources to actually do it. Let's move on with Walkinshaw and Andretti United. They came home in 6th with 3,487 points. Chaz finished 4th and 5th, and Percat finished 18th and 21st. Definitely not the weekend they had last year.
No.
But we were expecting it. We were expecting that, though.
Definitely the year they expected.
yeah, that's it. But to come home in 4th and 5th for Chaz is pretty solid. But
Chaz always does good in Adelaide, though.
Yeah, exactly. And he actually cheekily rubbed the wall at turn 8 on Sunday, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, it was kind of sketchy. But unfortunately, though, Nick, he got into trouble with race control after punting Jack LeBrock off at turn 14, which ruined Jack's day, essentially. But do you know what I find ironic, actually, this weekend? You might have a laugh at this. I find it funny, right? Will Brown crashes out his car next year.
Yep.
Nick Percat crashes out his car next year.
Yep.
Like, what a rude entry. Rude, what do you call it?
What a rude ending.
That's it.
Yeah.
So they're getting pay cuts next year. But
The damage they caused the year before.
I just find it ironic that they crashed their team for next year. But
yeah, I always laugh when they put them on what are they called? A trolley and send them to the next building.
that was
whenever
good.
they're done.
I loved how Reynolds is in a Penrite. What do you call it?
A barrel. And they put Newline on it.
That was great. I love that.
Weird though that they put Newline when there is a team called Newline.
They're probably their own oil sponsor though, but
yeah.
Which also might confirm that Penrite isn't going with them. As well, so that shows that. But speaking of Penrite, Grove Racing, P7 with 3,479 points. Dave finished second and third, and Matty Payne 23rd and first. This is they're not even an old team. I just want to point that out. Technically,
yeah, they're only 2-3 years.
It's their second year. In Supercars technically, because they bought out Kelly. They joined Kelly the year before.
Yeah, it was Kelly Grove Racing. Yeah,
properly ran it as their own last year. Pretty sure.
Yeah, with Lee Holdsworth.
And they've come real far. And Matt Payne. Again, we've already spoken about it, but I mean, just amazing.
He's exciting. He's very exciting.
And the fact he's 21 makes me sad because I'm not doing that, and I'm 23.
Yeah, same.
But now we move on to Team 18, which is also the team David Reynolds is actually joining next year. They in P8 with 3,103 points. Winterbottom finished 11th and 15th, and Scotty finished 10th and 13th. Bit of a typical weekend for them, actually, in terms of result-wise, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
I'm a little bit concerned with how Reynolds will do there next year, just because it's not a team with high pedigree.
No, but might be surprised because we saw Winterbottom win in Darwin. So
I don't know if you saw, but did you see the interview with him and Garth Tander?
No.
On the broadcast, Tander goes, "So you're moving to Team 18 next year? Why?" And in my mind was because they kicked me out of Penrite, and this was the only job I got.
Yeah.
But he's like, "That's something different." I'm like, that was such a lie. Come on, you would never pick them over your team.
He's legally obliged to say that.
Yeah, I know. And the first thing came to my mind was that's.
Speaking of that, Stanaway is actually racing for Grove this year with the Golf 12 Hour next month. Which should be cool. Cool way to start their partnership.
What's the Golf 12 Hour?
I don't know. That's why I just called it Golf 12 Hour. I couldn't remember. You opened my crack. Don't say that.
Jeez. I'll find out. No.
I think I should stop talking for the rest of the year.
I'll find out.
All right. While you do that, let's move on. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know, people watching now. Adrian Burgess is the team principal, alongside Charlie Schwerkohl in 2024, which is getting mixed bags of
not everyone's thrilled about that.
No, and if you
there's a poll on Speed Cafe about it.
Well, if you don't know what's going on, basically, he right now he's currently the GM of Motorsport for Supercars, which is like the head guy, which is where Tim Edwards is going next year. Everyone is annoyed because he's going straight to a race team next year when he has been exposed to everyone's data for this year. So everyone agrees, or a lot of people agree, that he should at least be having a 12-month sabbatical before jumping into a team. Maybe
that's why Reynolds is going there.
Maybe. But Adrian is really good anyway. Besides from all that drama, he was really good at Walkinshaw, and then he was also at Triple Eight, and also he was there for Courtney's campaign and DJR as well. And also Charlie was too. That whole Charlie was he owned that car that Courtney won in. So
I've got the Golf 12. It's a GT3 race at Yas Marina.
I need a.
So he'll be driving a Porsche GT3 911.
Oh, well, that makes
with
sense.
Stephen and Brenton Grove.
Because they run their Porsche. Forgot about that. You know, that'll be
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good in those sort of races, so he'll do well, hopefully. But let's get on with Nulon Racing. Their first season or second season, sorry. Well, actually, their first proper. You know what? Second season. What am I doing? They came home in ninth with 3,016 points. James finished 13th and 16th, and Slade finished 16th and 20th. Do you know what they remind me of? They remind me of Aston Martin this year. They started off really well and then just fell back as the year progressed, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit odd.
But in saying that,
I don't.
James did make it into the shootout though, which was cool.
Yeah.
But hopefully they're hoping for a good, better year next year. But and also LeBrock got that penalty after knocking Macaulay out the way, or should I say Jack Smith out the way in pit lane. But Tickford, the second part, which is Thomas Randall and not Thomas Randall, sorry, James Courtney and Declan Fraser. They finished 11th with 2,686 points. The second lot for BJR also in P12, which they
No,
came home.
it is Courtney. Sorry, it is Courtney.
Yeah, Courtney and is it? Wait, is it?
Yeah, you said Randall.
Yeah, I corrected myself. Like it was because I'm so used to having
Hang on,
5 and
sorry.
6. Is it 5? Is it 55, 56?
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I just interrupted and everything.
No. It's confusing because 55 is doing better than James.
But yeah, that's why I got lost.
Because we're so used to seeing 5 and 6 actually with each other, but yeah, no. So definitely Thomas Randall and Declan Fraser's squad. They came home. I've already said that. And the second crew, BJR, which is Jack Smith and Macaulay Jones, also came home in 12th with 2,108 points. And last but not least, this is hopefully the last time I say this, Blanchard Racing rounds up the grid in P13 with 1,191 points. I'm hoping they move up next year with 2 cars.
Yeah, you think next year with 2 cars makes it a little bit more even?
Yeah, and with the live pit lane, if they have a good result, they can definitely take advantage of it, which would be cool. And
but the last time the Bathurst 500 was on, their driver did pretty well. So let's see if they can replicate what Tim Slade did a couple of years ago.
I'm looking forward to it. And Todd, as we said, he had a really good weekend overall, finished 12th and 11th, and also did a shootout, which was cool. I'm glad he got a shootout before he
or isn't a shootout, Adelaide?
Hung out his full-time helmet for now. But I
wonder where he's gonna go.
I reckon Porsche. I'm getting a feeling. He hasn't said it yet, but I'm getting a vibe.
Yeah, I kind of hope it is because I think he'll be very good.
He'll be. Cool.
I think he just needs something different. He's been bumped around team to team every year. He just needs a bit of a break, and yeah, I think it'll be very healthy for him and very good. I'm not sure if he'll come back because let's be honest, not many people who go to Porsche do come back. But especially the kids and Kai Allen and Zach Best and Super 2, I'm not sure we will see him on the grid again as a full-time driver. But yeah, it'd be nice to see him doing something around. Or he could even go overseas, you know. But
yeah, it's true.
He seems pretty excited about what he's doing, whatever it is. So that to me is a bit interesting. But yeah, hopefully we'll find out very soon.
Fingers crossed, because I do agree with you. He is my favorite, right? He's one of my favorites, but I am worried that he might not get a seat again. But who knows? Never say never with this sport. So who knows? But I am excited though to see what Aaron Love can do next year in the main game for a full year.
Yeah, true.
But so that rounds up the team standings. Let's run through the drivers. We won't go full in detail into this, but obviously we've got Brody Kostecki claimed the title in Adelaide with actually just under 300 points clear of Shane, which is crazy considering how close they were getting into the round. Third place was Brock Feeney. Will Brown actually lost a decent amount of spots. after race
Yeah,
one.
well, Chaz finished fourth.
Yeah, so that's a good result for Chaz as well, considering their year compared to Will.
I think just got him though. He only beat him by 23 points.
Oh, that Saturday race changed everything.
Yeah.
But here's the sixth place, Cam Waters, car sixth place. I love that. Hopefully we see him a lot higher up next year. If he has a good car, no doubt. Then we've
Deserves
got
to be.
exactly, yeah, I fully agree. Andre Heimgartner in seventh, he also deserves it as well. He's a good one. Eighth, Anton De Pasquale. Ninth, David Reynolds, and rounding up the 10 is Will Davison. And we've also got 11th, Bryce Forward, Jack LeBrock, who I'm actually excited to see in Erebus next year. I'm curious to see how well he goes. Thomas Randall, Matt Payne, Mark Winterbottom. What the hell were they doing? I'm sorry. The website, right? If you see it, it goes 14th, Matt Payne, 15th, Mark Winterbottom, 7th, James Golding. Huh. That doesn't.
Well, I'm looking at Speed Cafe.
Oh, are you?
So
Oh, I'm looking at the Supercar site.
that actually is correct. It's the 16th.
That's an interesting.
So what does James Courtney say?
17th. So it continues. It's just 16 apparently is 7. See, this is why they can't count past 12, because they make mistakes like this. But they're learning. Good job, Supercars. Here's a sticker. But
Gold star.
yeah, that's it. Speaking of counting, James Courtney, 17th. Curious to see what he can do in the BRT car. Probably, hopefully, better than he is this year. Scott Pye, 18th. Tim Slade, 19th. Percat, 20th. And Todd in 21st. And then we've got Macaulay Jones, Cameron Hill, Declan Fraser, and the GOAT, Jack Smith. And then Craig Lowndes is 43rd, by the way, after Jack Smith. But Aaron Love is 10th. I'm sorry, I've got to go through these because the numbers are just weird.
Hang on, what? I have to get this up now.
And Di Silvestro is 56th. Where are they getting these numbers from?
And I have to find this.
Where are they getting these numbers from? What the hell? Come on, man. Fix your website.
Hey, mine looks fine.
Really?
Do a refresh.
I'm going to do a refresh. But this is why it still says it. 7th and then 56th and then 43rd or whatever. This is why they can't count past 12. This is why there's 12 rounds next year. It all makes sense.
Mine is actually 56.
It all makes sense.
Why are the co-drivers even on here?
Oh, because they're classified as the wildcard cars.
Also, there was a glitch when this actually started, when they added these for some dumb reason, where the Super 2 drivers, their points were in the middle.
Oh, that's right.
So like Jack Perkins, Zach Best, who else?
All did well. All did better than Jack Smith.
Ty Allen, yeah. They were all like in the middle of the pack. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, at least we know the reason why we're not doing more than 12 next year, so that's okay. That makes sense. That all makes sense, all right? For everyone complaining, there you go. That's the reason. Oh, my God.
That's funny. Mine doesn't say that, but I really want to see it.
I'll take a screenshot and just...
Put it, yeah.
I'll send it to you after. Actually, no. I'll see if I can do it now.
Sounds good.
Oh, my God. But while I'm doing that, who was your driver of the weekend? And who was the team of the weekend for you as well?
Grove Racing.
Oh, and messages.
Look, I'd like to say it was Matt Payne, but obviously he did finish 23rd. However, he was still the outstanding driver, I think, of the weekend. Cam Waters, I'd put number 2.
Yeah.
But I think what Matt Payne did was so spectacularly awesome. Like, not only, like we said, not only did he win, but he won. No one chased him down. The gap just got bigger as the race went on. Didn't make one mistake. And he literally led from turn 1 to the end.
Yeah, no,
I would have really I would have been really curious to see what would have happened if there was a safety car because he would have lost his gap. I would be really curious to see if he kept the lead after that. I'm assuming he's really good, but it would have been cool to kind of see him really battle it out. But I guess he did have that battle at the start of the race,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
it kind of just looked like he did a Max Verstappen and just took off,
Oh, he
which in supercars is rare.
especially a
So
Mustang.
and especially from a rookie.
Yeah, that too. Who didn't have a
Far
podium
out.
up until this point.
No,
At
I
least
said
Feeney
to
had a
you, though,
podium, I think.
I'd say kind of that I thought that Matt Payne's first podium would be a win.
Mm. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I had a feeling he'd win this weekend. I don't know
the
why.
thing is,
I didn't say it, but yeah,
he didn't just win though; he dominated. That's the
he
part that
smashed
just makes
everyone.
me crazy. And
And for the second year in a row, we had a rookie who win the Adelaide 500, like the cup.
which is really cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, he's definitely my driver of the weekend for sure. Just because that drive
yeah,
was just insane. He wasn't originally going to be, but after that, I just couldn't. I just had to do it.
yeah.
And
Like we said, like I think if he had the Saturday to back it up,
mm,
it would have been clear night and day that he was driver of the weekend. But yeah, unfortunately, he did get caught up in whatever he got caught up in. And yeah, Cam Waters did look like the driver of the week, but then his Sunday wasn't spectacular. So
yeah,
yeah, give it to Matt
everyone had
Payne.
a mixed bag pretty much. Everyone had a good
Yeah,
race one and a
actually, you
bad
know
race
what?
the other.
Based on except for Reynolds
Yeah, no, he was good.
at double podium, so maybe we should put him second.
Maybe Matt.
Yeah,
Let's join them
probably a good
together.
idea.
Yeah,
Put them
but
together. Yeah,
in terms of team, I reckon I've got a mix with in terms of this weekend. Grove, they're the most. They just outperformed everyone overall. But I do have to give it to Erebus for actually claiming the title. Like it's a big achievement.
yeah.
Um,
The team's title was even more impressive. The Brody
exactly.
one you can kind of get with because the gap was pretty big.
Yeah.
But the team one was very
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh,
Obviously helped with. I don't think they would have won it though if Shane didn't have the issues because he was ahead of. Well, both of them were ahead of both Erebus
yeah.
cars. I think.
I think so.
So
At one
yeah,
point.
look, you kind of got to give a bit of leeway with that. But Shane's dilemma is definitely costing the whole thing.
Yeah. That's it. But still, um, it is. We're not undermining it. It's still an incredible achievement. They worked
No,
really, really hard
incredible
all
effort.
year to get it. And they
Yeah,
started
still
the
think
year
they
off
deserve
very
it.
well too. So yeah, well earned, and they'll be looking to bounce back for sure again. Especially Barry Ryan. I know he'll be looking to keep that number one, which is also returning to Supercars. It's been a while since we've seen a number one.
Oh, thank God! I
Um,
can't stand when drivers don't use number one. Like
uh,
it really bothers me. It bothered me for 7 years when
yeah,
Lewis never did it in F1, and now actually now that you mention it, hasn't been there since 7 years again.
yeah. Well,
Winkup was the only driver that did it.
exactly. Well, technically, Gisbergen ran the number one last year in Adelaide, but I don't count that. And I'm more thinking the whole year. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
happy. I'm
think
glad to
it's
see it.
dumb, man. I think
No,
it's really dumb when a driver doesn't pick number one for their championship because you literally earned it.
I
Why
mean,
would you not?
I
To me, it'd
understand.
be no brainer.
I understand the personalized numbers and stuff, but number one's got to be a good feeling, surely.
To be, it's to
It's a
me
proud.
this the
It's a
first.
proud thing.
If I when I used to win championships in F1 games, the first thing I did was do that. 100%.
Yeah, that's it.
I only won one championship, but still,
Hey,
um,
hey, championship's a championship, all right? Don't undermine yourself.
exactly. You
Uh,
have to. It's just the best feeling.
but yeah, no,
But
I
yeah,
I
I don't know.
completely agree. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see number one back on in the paddock, for the
Yeah,
proper time. And I hope Kai Allen, if he's returning Super Two, I hope he actually uses it as well. Um,
yeah, agree.
but
There's actually not many Super Two champions return.
no, Paul
So,
Dumbrell's the last one I can think of, to be honest.
but had number one. Yeah,
But
been a while.
yeah, it has been a while, and I'm glad because saw F2 that what's his name, Theo. I can't even say his name.
Which yeah,
Yeah, he won the Super 2. Now he hasn't got an F1 seat, but he can't race F2
wait,
anymore,
if you won Super Two.
which is annoying. F2. Shit. But at least Kai Allen can actually compete in Super 2 again still.
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Well, that's the thing. F1 and F2, you can't return if you want to change it, can you?
Nah, that's what Oscar. That's the problem with
It's just
Oscar.
dumb.
Yeah, exactly. Which sucks. But maybe he can. I can't remember. Someone was going to Super Formula, but that's F1 chat. Let's leave that for later. But before we wrap this pod up, let's. Of course, the gala night happened last night. I'm just going to quickly brush through the results and the awards and whatnot. This will be very quick. So Barry Sheen medal. Chaz Mostert got that once again. I'm pretty sure he got it last year as well. Then we've got the drivers' champion, Kostecki. Teams champion is Erebus. Drivers' driver, Kostecki got that award, which he deserves. The Mike Cable Young Gun Award was Cameron McLeod. Super 2 champ was Kai Allen. Super 3 was Stewart. Super 2 team was Eccleston Motorsport. Super 2 pole award was Ryan Wood. That was a cool battle, actually, I want to point out, with Ryan Wood and Zach Best for poles. That was cool.
What was it?
Yeah, it was like down to the wire sort of thing as well. Like Ryan Wood got it
In Adelaide.
on the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But in terms of the championship manufacturer Chevrolet, not surprising with the P word. Then a fan's choice for best presented team was Triple Eight. They always good or bad year. They are probably the most organized looking, most professional.
DJR won it for years, and not gonna lie, I thought Erebus would have won it with their Coke deal.
With the Penske, like,
God, that sounded so wrong.
uh,
With their Coca-Cola deal, like they all like massive brand, cool T-shirts. I almost bought one. But yeah, I thought that would have won it, but I guess not.
but I guess in terms of
DJR, he won it for like 7 years straight.
yeah, with the Penske stuff.
Yeah.
But
Tucked in shirts and all
their
that.
facilities were mega though. Back when like even still now, but like
Yeah, but I think it's more presented, not what resources you got.
no, it's not. Yeah, basically Red Bull looked good.
Yeah, apparently.
Fans' choice for most popular driver was Shane Van Gisbergen, which I got to agree as well. He is an icon. If you like him or not, he is an icon. And we are losing a really good icon. And because he was the voice of Supercars, especially this year. Even though he got told to shut up essentially by Supercars, he was quite animated about his opinions, which I loved, especially with that podcast he did with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I think though, knowing that he was leaving, also made that a bit easier. You know, kind of I don't care. I'm not here next year.
That's true.
Kind of mentality.
Good point.
Maybe that came into effect.
Maybe, but I personally do like him. He might not look much like in terms of media wise. He doesn't like being a part of the media. He's more of an introvert. But just the stuff he does behind the scenes and stuff is pretty cool. He's got a great personality in my opinion.
Agreed, yeah.
Best event, which I love because this is always voted. This always wins well before the weekend begins. Adelaide 500 won once again, which not surprising. Chaz Mostert actually pointed out, which was I got to agree with him. He said when you go to Adelaide, it feels like the supercars are Formula One in terms of how big it is. Because the thing is,
could you imagine if we hosted the F1, how much bigger it would be?
That would be
just
cool.
saying.
That'd be cool. I want it back, but thing is, I don't want it to intervene with supercars because unless they.
That's true.
Because the thing is, the supercars are such an icon now around Adelaide.
Yeah, that's true. And the track's way too bumpy for F1 anyway. Yeah. But I think though, it does feel like the entire city is supercars.
But what I do want is an IndyCar race there. That is something I want over Formula One.
That means McLaughlin would come back. Exactly. But that's all I want. But yeah, no, that is definitely a track that would suit. Could you imagine them going through turn 8?
Oh, flat out. That'd be cool.
Yeah, kind of like a few tracks at a few corners at St. Petersburg.
Mm.
Oof. Was it St. Pete? No, not that one.
No,
Oh God, I'm having a blank.
there is a corner that's quite fast though. I know the one. But although,
Oh
say,
yeah, no, turn 4. That's what I was thinking.
mm,
Turn 3. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, that'll be cool. That'll be sick.
See
Formula
that
E
made
even Formula E,
that was rumors. No, that almost happened.
they suit that track because they,
That almost happened because there was a bid between them and I think Hong Kong, if I'm not mistaken. Hong Kong got it, but
mm,
I'm surprised if there were ever in a Formula E event here, which let's be honest, probably not many oh my God, South Aussies would get it around.
mm.
I still think Adelaide would be the best track for it,
Oh, it'll be great in my opinion.
or even that that Newcastle, not Newcastle, that Homebush track we had a couple years ago. That
Yeah.
would suit it.
Mm.
That would really suit it. But yeah, it's gone now because I think Adelaide would be the best kind of track for that. But that almost happened. Apparently, they put a bid in a couple of years ago and they just didn't
Well,
get it.
Townsville might be good for it. Maybe.
Yeah, I think the long straight kind of puts them off because Formula E do a lot. They only
Although
do street circuits.
Homebush was had a long straight though too. To be fair.
True. Yeah. I don't know. I think Adelaide would suit it. If
Oh,
anything, it's actually probably too wide.
yeah.
Formula E. Formula E race on some hectic tracks. We're
Oh
getting
yeah.
off topic there.
And they're so tight.
But no, IndyCar would 100% be the best event ever in Australia, I reckon, if they ever came. Like, Gold Coast was insane when they
Mm.
had that. I think Adelaide would be incredible. And even Scott even said it himself.
Yeah. I miss it. I miss it so much. But best volunteer group. I forgot we're doing these awards before we
Gold Coast.
to be honest. Gold Coast 500, and then the Supercar Media Award, Mark Larkham. Considering he
Yes.
was kicked out and the fans
He
brought
even
him
said
back,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, he
he
said it.
got
He
that
said this is
award.
the fans' award.
Yeah, and I'm so happy. He deserves it. He deserves all the love.
Also, I love how they didn't tell him he was getting that award, and Garth just walked up behind him, tapped him on the shoulder. Here you go.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like that was the true reaction to getting that.
Yeah.
It's great.
Beautiful. I love
I'm not surprised he got it as well, and I'm really, I don't know, I got a bit emotional listening to him talking about how the fans brought him back, essentially, because we did.
Yeah.
And the fact he got awarded for it a couple of years later, you know, he should win it every year. Who won last year? Ted Allen, I think.
I don't know, but
Yeah, it wasn't him. I remember that. But yeah, he's the best. He's the best.
In a way, if you think about it, we essentially saved his job. He was fired.
Yeah.
You know?
He got dropped for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
No reason. And then he got even better when he came back.
And
he would never be fired now.
that's it. And I love the fact that he actually isn't afraid to talk about things like controversial things, such as the parody trigger. Like he was talking. I loved that he says it's too the what do you call it, the gap or something. Like the trigger is actually too much. It requires too much to trigger it. Yeah. I hope he sticks around for a long time. Fingers crossed.
Agreed.
But that is it. That is the 2023 season done. Overall, pretty good year. Solid year. Not bad for Gen 3. Obviously, there's a lot more improvements need to be made. But in saying that, we did see some really good racing as well. Going into a fresh start next year with teams, not new drivers and new teams, and some drivers not even in there anymore. I'll be very intrigued to see. But it all kicks off in February for the Bathurst 10-day festival, right after the Repco Bathurst 12 Hour, which is now their new sponsor. So,
Sponsored by Repco.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
they should just sponsor the city of Bathurst by Repco.
Yeah. Bringing in the Bathurst.
Rename Bathurst just to Repco. Welcome to Repco.
Repco New South Wales. There you go.
Yeah.
So we got a solid 3 months or so till things kick off. But what does that mean?
4.
Oh yeah, that's it. But what does that mean for
what
the
does that
pod?
mean for us,
What does that mean for
Tell
content?
Us.
It means we need to find some things to do.
It means we have a bit of a break.
in terms of, I'm going to talk to Alex off chat about this in detail, but I'm going to put up a video maybe next week or something like that. Basically asking you guys what you would like to see in the off season or into next year as well. Because obviously, I like to think we started 3 months ago, this pod. I'd like to expand it to something big next year if we can. So if you've got any content ideas you would love to see, I'll be happy to hear it. You can contact us on our social medias below here. But also, we've got a email. Just email us at letstalkmotorsport35@gmail.com, and we will respond there as well. So we just got to find some things to do, really. We're still working it out, but expect content from us still. We're going to keep busy just a little bit in the off season. Like if there's some news and stuff like that, of course, we'll talk about it. We'll probably do a predictions before next year's kicks off as well, but that won't be till next year. But we've still got our Abu Dhabi Grand Prix review, which will come later this week as well. So stay tuned for that. But thanks for joining us this year. It's been pretty cool, even though it's been 3 months, but still pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me on halfway through. It was really fun. And yeah, next year is going to be even better, I think, with Supercars. I think it's going to be a very good season. And I like how it's more spaced out, so we got content for a long time. And it starts a bit earlier than this year did.
And it ends earlier too. Ends a week prior, earlier than this year. So stay tuned for that. We've got a fantastic year coming up, and things kick off with the Rapco 12 Hour, as we said. Any final thoughts before we end tonight, Alex?
No, it was a great season. So, yeah, it was very entertaining. And next year, I think will be even better. Get keen.
Get keen indeed. And thanks again for joining us tonight. We might even do more live streams as well if you want to see that as well. It was a lot of fun.
That's definitely a plan. This is fun.
Maybe we can even convert to live episodes. See how we go. But that's all from us. Do check it out. I'm late. I'm tired. Do check out our socials below here and here. Alex also has his pod, which I strongly advise to check out as well. And yeah, stay tuned for more. That's all from us. Bye for now.
Off.